one time I got a call, this is back in the 70s, I guess. I got a call to play at the Latin Casino, which is a club in New Jersey. Originally it had been a club in Philadelphia, and then after a certain number of years they moved over and built a bigger place over in New Jersey, right across right across the road from the Garden State racetrack. Neither of these places exist anymore, but the Latin Casino was a place where they booked all the top acts, like Frank Sinatra, Tony Bennett, Sammy Davis Jr., Dean Martin, all the people who were big stars back at that time. And they'd come in for like a whole week. So I got called to sub for one of the people who was in the Ray Charles orchestra. Well, Ray Charles traveled with his own band. It was a big band, like he had the full thing, like 4 trumpets, 4 trombones, full sax section. And they traveled all over the country this way. So, but it turned out that one of his sax players had to go home for his father's funeral. So he was going to be gone for 2 nights, and I got called. So I said, yeah, okay. So what it involved was I had to go there and sight read the show, because there was no time, you know, to have a rehearsal just for me, so you were expected to be able to sight read the show. So anyway, when I got there, I was greeted by these guys in the Ray Charles Orchestra, and they were all very nice. They were very welcoming. And there was a guy named Leroy Cooper. He was the road manager, and he played baritone sax, and he was a really nice guy. Put me right at ease and said, hey, we're really happy that you could do this. And I felt great, and I think, oh, this is going to be fun. So before the show, they handed out these cardboard pieces of cardboard, like that you used to be able, when people sent their shirts out to the laundry, they would come back and it would be like a piece of cardboard, you know, to keep the shirt straight. So they had taken these pieces of cardboard and they wrote the list, the set list on them. So it would say like number 36, number 49, number such and such. And these were all tunes, you know. So apparently they had several of them for different shows. So Leroy hands me this, he says, here's your set list and here's your book. Put the book together so you'll be set for the show. So I happened to notice that there was one guy there who didn't really take to me, and it was, I could tell instantaneously, like he just didn't like me. I don't know why, but when I was introduced to him, his name was Ed, and he was a lead alto player. And, you know, and I said, oh, hi Ed, you know, I'm pleased to meet you and all. And he just gave me this look like he was just cut me in half, you know. And I thought, wow, you know, I immediately felt a draft with this guy. I thought, like, he just doesn't like me for whatever reason. You know, so anyway, after Leroy handed me this this list, Ed, who happened to be standing next to me, I thought, you know, well, I'll do something. I'll make this is a gesture of friendship. I'll say to him, oh Ed, you need this, you know, list. And he said, no, I don't need any list. And then I said, okay. So I go to, about 10 seconds later, he says, wait a second, let me see that list. I'll give it back to you. So he takes the list, and then he hands me back. What I didn't know was he handed me back a different list.
Oh my God.
Yeah, deliberately.
Ah.
So I proceed to put my book together, you know, and I'm going through all these numbers. And we go out on the stage, and they say, ladies and gentlemen, the Ray Charles Orchestra. And we had to play some kind of an overture thing, you know. So the band goes into, ba-da, you know, whatever. I realized pretty quickly that I have the wrong arrangement up, you know, and I thought, what's happening here? Like, I knew that I was playing the wrong tune. And and again, perspiration, you start like, oh, what's going on here? And I'm looking. Well, it was hard for me to deal with this because most of the guys didn't even read the music. They had it all memorized. So they didn't even have the charts up. I'm looking at them over at the next guy, and I'm thinking like, well, what tune is that? He doesn't even have anything up. So it's okay. The first tune's over with. Played that. I go into the second tune. It's the same thing. At some point, I realized that Ed had deliberately given me the wrong list, and so I'm playing, and all of a sudden it dawns on me, oh, he sabotaged me. So I look at him, and here's the look I get back. Ooh, so somehow or another I go through frantically trying to get these charts up, and the guy next to me saying like, well, number 12, so, and we got through the show, but it wasn't easy,
Oh, man.
So I'm thinking, I wonder if I should say something to Ed. I mean, should I confront him and say, hey man, like, what did you do? What do you have against me? Like, this and that. And this is going through my mind. Shall I approach him? So we finish the show, go back in the dressing room, and I'm about to approach Ed and say, why are you doing this to me? This is before the second show. And just then, Ed noticed that somebody moved his sax case. So he said, somebody moved my case. And he pulled out a switchblade knife, and this big blade comes out. Now I was thinking, well, I don't think I'll approach Ed about this matter. And, I made sure that I had the right tunes for the second show. We stayed 2 nights, and once again it all came out. I came out smelling like roses. I don't know why, but they thanked me. In fact, they wanted me to stay longer because it turned out that the guy whose place I was taking wanted to stay at home another day. Anyway, that was the Ray Charles story. Oh, by the way, Ray Charles asked to have me come back to his dressing room and meet with me privately so that he could thank me, and he gave me a big hug, so I come out a winner.
Oh, that's awesome.
Despite Ed, fearsome Ed.